Coming up on the show, we have singer Gbolahan Odukoya, who talks about his song Agbanilagbatan, as well as his plans to release a new album.
Oh, she baba, oh, she ama, oh, she baba, oh, she ama, Agbanilagbatan, oh, she baba. Agbanilagbatan, oh, ṣé baba.
Many may not know this face, but they will remember the 2003 track Agbanilagbatan by multi-talented singer and guitarist Gbolahan Odukoya.
My journey into music started from when I was, my family. I was born into a very musical family. So, in our morning devotions, everybody sang in parts. So I already knew what soprano, alto, tenor was, even though before I knew what they were called. So music started in my family, and my dad got me a piano teacher when I was 7. I and my elder sister. I eventually picked up the guitar in my first year in Unilag in '96. I think I was 19 then, during a very long ASU strike. And the next door neighbor encouraged me to pick up my elder sister's guitar and learn it. And he gave me a book, and I started during this ASU strike. And I would say my life literally changed from that point.
I need a pedal backer at that point.
Though the song did not make him popular, Odukoya revels in the value the song continues to bring to listeners years after its initial release.
There are times I'm in a queue in the good old days before the ATMs came out, and I'm in GT Bank or something, and in a long queue waiting, to the teller, and someone's phone starts to ring, and it's actually this that is playing. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this someone is actually using my song as his ringtone, and he doesn't even know that I am right there in the queue in front of him. It has happened to me like 3-4 times over the years. So yeah, it's interesting that I ended up being anonymous, even though the song spread like a virus, in a good sense anyway. It makes me proud that, hey, I became this anonymous, guy who did a song that people loved, but somehow people didn't know him. But there have been times I'll go to some places and I sing the song, or I start playing the guitar, and I've actually seen people literally jump off of their streets like, so it was you, you're the guy that did Agbanilagbatan, it was you. And I'm like, well, thank God, these things happen.
Produced by renowned musician Cobhams Asuko, the song, which remains a gospel favorite, was inspired by Odukoya's grandmother.
Agbanilagbatan is a song that I actually learned from my late maternal grandmother. She used to come to our home, she used to spend Christmas with us, and she used to sing it Christmas after Christmas after Christmas. So we all grew up calling it Mami, Ori Mami. And I think it was about 2002 or 2003 when I felt, hey, this song that I learned from my grandma, let me put a little twist to it. Let me see what it sounds like on just my guitar. And and I worked it out. There are some friends of mine that I was a music director with, and they said, guys, let's sing this song together, and they loved it. And then we performed it, and everybody loved it. And then some months after, and my friend then Cobhams, nobody knew him then, I said, let's go to the studio and record it. He agreed, and Agbanilagbatan became the song that everybody just loved. Yeah.
Following his foray into the music industry back in 2003, Odukoya has honed several skills in the music industry, including songwriting and playing the guitar. He also takes pride in teaching others these skills. His repertoire includes 2 full bodies of work, Riches of My Grace released in 2005 and Shenimadupe, a 2012 project. Over the years, he has also worked with the likes of Nikki Laoye, Sound Sultan, T.Y. Bello, Lara George, and the late No More Loss, as well as Shola Allison.
There have been many high points. I've had times when people would literally write me letters telling me how some of the songs that I've written or sang, or the songs in my album, blessed them, made a change in their lives. One in particular touched me. It was a little boy that I taught since he was 6. At that time, he was already 16. And you know, he wrote me a letter that he had been going through some really depressed times because of the pressure from his mom and his dad concerning his studies. And listening to my album was the one thing that made him relax and go to his books and study well, and was able to assimilate. And he was like, "Thank you, Mr. Gbolahan, for doing your album. Thank you for writing the songs that you wrote. They've been such a blessing to me." It brought tears to my eyes, because that boy's father is now my vice president. It's amazing that my songs, yeah, so those are my high points. The fact that my songs have touched people and strengthened them in their hearts. And especially people that are far much younger than I am. You know, generations away, and yet I was able to connect with people. So yeah, those are one of the many high points in my career. Low points have been times, a particular one when I was at a particular event, I sang, and after I finished, you know, singing on stage, a particular brother came up to me and said, "Please, I would love to buy your album." And I said, "Oh, sure, we can go to my bike, in my tank bag, you know, my CDs are in there." And as we walked to the tank bag, I told him how much my album was. And I was, that's too expensive now. I was like, really? That's too expensive? And that was one of my low points. Having Nigerians haggle with me about the price of my album because they think it's too expensive. Meanwhile, they'll spend more from other things that are not really so important. And that's one of, I would say that was a low point for me, that people think music is cheap. Yeah, that's one of the low points I've had to grapple with over the years.
Odukoya is currently working on his third studio album titled Eran Joba, meaning Animal of the Kingdom, which he says will be a mix of gospel, soul, and inspirational music.